2 days ago, I was at a party where the daughter of the governor of Wisconsin was in attendance. This is no lie. So I feel like I'm going to read this poem, which is called Souvenirs On Sominex. It had been 4 days of no weather, as if nature had conceded its genius to the indoors. They'd closed down the Bureau of Sad Endings, and my wife sat on the couch and read the paper out loud. The evening edition carried The Magic Death of a Child, backlit by a construction site sunrise on its front page. I kept my back to her and fingered the items on the mantle. Souvenirs only reminded you of buying them. The moon hung solid over the boarded-up hobby shop. PK was in the precinct house using his one phone call to dedicate a song to Tammy, for she was the light by which he traveled into this and that. And out in the city, out in the wide readership, his younger brother was kicking an ice bucket in the woods behind the Marriott. His younger brother who was missing that part of the brain that allows you to make out with your pillow. Poor kid, it was the light in things that made him last. Tammy called her caseworker from a closed gas station to relay ideas unaligned with the world we loved. The tall grass bent in the wind like tachometer needles, and he told her to hang in there, slowly repeating the number of the job info line. She hung up and glared at the Killbuck sweet shop. The words that had been running through her head, employees must wash hands before returning to work, kept repeating, and the sky looked dead. Hedges formed the long limousine a Tampa sky could die behind. A sailor stood on the wharf with a clipper ship reflected on the skin of the bell pepper he held. He'd had mouthwash at the end and could still feel the ice blue carbon pinwheels spinning in his mouth. There were no new ways to understand the world, only new days to set our understandings against. Through the lanes came virgins in tennis shoes, their hair shining like videotape, singing us into a kind of sleep we hadn't tried yet. Each page was a new chance to understand the last, and somehow the sea was always there to make you feel stupid. My life at home during banking hours. For a solid month, I tried to think of something new to say about rivers. I called the newspaper to find out how many horses were left on Earth, and numbly watched mosquitoes swarm over a pile of high-heel shoes while my collies hunted in the corners. At least I was not in a line of work that had me spending most of my day avoiding God. My desk held painfully complicated surfaces filled with shadow cassettes, black bear theory, and drinking water. There was the sadness in a name like Jesse Winchester and the wind howling on the answering machine when I returned home from daydreaming in a margarita shop. All the blessings and counter-blessings that moved my mind like FM waves from a butter churn and granted me the sight of parallel collies standing on a hilltop and the rain falling on the United States while it wonders, what is the United States? I used to sing a song that went, no more springs, no more summers, no more falls. I believed I was nearing the morning when nettles would pour from the showerhead, when I would be ripped out of the world for recasting the blues in plastic. I believed that I would finally break where I have been bent, that I would lose the game inside the game. But that has not happened, and now I don't expect it ever will.